It happened last summer just outside Milwaukee, when the nights felt too warm and sound carried strange through the suburbs. I was home alone while my husband pulled a night shift at the refinery. Around 11:45 p.m., our porch light clicked on. Motion sensor. I checked the security feed on my phone and froze. A police officer stood at my door. He wasn't moving, just staring toward the camera. His patrol car idled behind him. Blue lights flickering silently against the siding. My first thought. Accident report? Wrong house, maybe? He knocked. So 3 slow, deliberate taps. I cracked the door chain. Can I help you, officer? He tilted his head. Evening, ma'am. Are you alone in the house? His tone was flat, rehearsed. Not friendly, not cautious, just wrong. The badge said Grady 143, but the patch looked off-color, the font distorted. I'm fine, thanks, I said. What's this about? He leaned closer, face shadowed beneath his cap. Neighbors reported screaming. Could I step inside to make sure everything's okay? My skin crawled. What neighbors? We lived a quarter mile from the next house. He didn't answer. He just placed one gloved hand against the doorframe. The knuckles were raw, skin torn around the nails. I stalled, pretending to unlock the chain while quietly texting my husband to call the real police. That's when the motion light flickered again, and his car vanished. The spot where the cruiser had been was empty, just asphalt glistening under the porch light. He noticed my eyes darting and slowly smiled. Ma'am, if you don't let me in, I'll have to write you up for obstruction. He grabbed the door and pulled. The chain snapped clean off like it wasn't even locked. I screamed and slammed the door on his arm. He didn't react, just kept pushing, strength unreal. Then red and blue lights flooded the street from the opposite direction. Real squad car, real cops. The man at my door bolted into the dark. They searched half the night and found nothing. No prints, no cruiser tracks, no badge with that number. A week later, the sheriff stopped by personally to assure us it was probably an impersonator. But he looked shaken when I showed him the footage. That uniform, he said quietly, hasn't been worn by our department since 1984. Every few months since, our porch light still flicks on at 11:45. And when I check the feed, I sometimes catch a glimpse of that same old badge glinting under the brim of his hat, waiting to finish his welfare check. I drive rideshare at night. Easy cash. Quiet roads. One December evening around 2 a.m., I picked up my last passenger outside a casino in Nevada. He never said much, just asked for a short trip to a diner 15 minutes away. Halfway there, headlights bloomed behind us, an unmarked Crown Vic, then the flash, red and blue. I groaned, speeding maybe 5 over. I pulled to the shoulder. The man beside me sighed. They get everybody. The officer approached on the driver's side, tall, heavy-set, gloves on though it was 60 degrees. His uniform was immaculate but blank. No patch, no name, no camera. He tapped the window with a flashlight that stayed off. License and registration. My stomach dropped. Something about his voice didn't echo right, maybe too calm, too hollow. My passenger whispered, "Don't roll it all the way down." Still, I cracked the glass. "Evening, officer." "Step out of the vehicle," he said. No explanation, no ticket book, just flat command. The lights behind him weren't flashing anymore. The road was pitch black. My passenger muttered, "That's not a cop." The officer's lips twitched. "I heard that. Step out, sir. Now." When I hesitated, he bent down so his eyes, perfectly black in the dome-like glow, met mine. "Let's not make this a pursuit. I floored it. Tires screamed. My passenger shouted coordinates into his phone. 9 Autación on speaker. Dispatch answered instantly. You said you were pulled over by who? We have no cars in that area tonight. We hit the main highway before the signal went dead. Maybe 30 seconds later, that same Crown Vic shot past on the opposite side. No headlights, no plate. Police arrived 5 minutes later. They never found the car. But dash cam footage from another driver that night caught something. An old-style police cruiser, identical to those retired 20 years ago following traffic, with siren lights glowing red and green. I quit the app after that. Every time I pass that stretch, I see random flashes in the mirror, like a stoplight trying to form, waiting for its next driver to pull over. I used to manage night dispatch for a small town's emergency line. Population maybe 2,000. Quiet, except during blizzards and drunk weekends. One January night, we got a call at 3:12 a.m. Static at first, then a woman's voice whispering, "Please send someone. I think he's inside." Line cut before I could trace it. Standard procedure. Log, flag, alert patrol. I radioed Unit 7, the only cruiser on shift. Responding from Elm Street to possible home invasion off County 23. Officer Reynolds replied, calm as ever. Copy that, 1097 and 5. 10 minutes passed. Nothing. I hailed him again. Silence. Then faint crackle. Ma'am, everything's fine. False alarm. But the voice wasn't Reynolds. The words were his, but the cadence off, drawn out, emotionless. Another call came seconds later from the same number. The woman again panicked. He's wearing a uniform. That's not the police. My chest iced over. I triggered an all units alert. Unit 4 broke radio silence. We're at that address. Doors open. Short pause. Dispatch, you said Reynolds was already here? No, I said. We lost contact. Proceed with caution. They entered. 2 mics picked up breathing footsteps. Then one of them whispered, "Oh my God." Static ripped through both channels. Later reports said the house was empty. No woman, no struggle. But in the snow behind it were 2 distinct sets of prints. One standard boot tread belonging to a uniformed officer, and one barefooted set beside it, leading off into the woods. We never recovered Officer Reynolds, yet calls still come through once a year, always same time, same panic. The woman gets halfway through he's inside before the line dies. Caller ID reads Reynolds residence. But that house burned down 20 years ago. Now I work days. But last week, running system tests at 3:12 a.m., a line opened itself on my console. Channel 7. The voice came through calm, almost polite. Dispatch, it said in that same flat tone. Just confirming. 10-97 at your address.